Hi everyone. Today, we continue our series on fate and freedom. In the previous episode, we talked about hard determinism and soft determinism. Hard determinism says that human beings seem to be pushed forward by a chain of causes from the past. Soft determinism reminds us, human beings are not without limits, but we are also not merely pushed around by those limits. In this episode, we move from philosophy back into the human mind. Because when people talk about fate, many times they are not talking about an objective fact. They are talking about a feeling. A strong, vague, hard-to-explain feeling that seems to rise from deep inside the body. For example, someone suddenly feels, this thing is definitely going to happen. This person will change my life. Something bad seems to be coming today. I have a feeling about this round. We can call this feeling a sense of destiny. It may not have logic, it may not have evidence, but it has power. It makes the future feel as if it is already waiting for you. The deeper question is, does this sense of destiny really come from the outside world, or does it often come from inside ourselves? The core idea of this episode is this. Many times, what we call fate is only the projection of a premonition. First, we need to separate two things. One is objective fate. The other is a subjective sense of destiny. Objective fate means the real limits that happen to you. Your birth, your body, your era, the accidents you encounter. These things are not completely chosen by you. In the previous episode, we said that this is the harder side of fate, but a sense of destiny is different. A sense of destiny is not the event itself. It is the strong premonition that rises inside a person when facing an event. It feels like a heavy "I know." But if you really ask, how do you know? He may not be able to explain it. He may only say, I just feel it. This is the most dangerous thing about a sense of destiny. It often does not come from reason. It is a kind of certainty that human beings pull out from deep uncertainty. The world is too chaotic. Events are too accidental. The future is too hard to control. So the mind begins to say, no, this must mean something. This cannot be a coincidence. This must be pointing somewhere. So a sense of destiny is not only superstition. It is also a deep psychological response to chance. Human beings have a hard time enduring pure chance because pure chance feels too empty. If a disaster merely happens, people cannot bear it. If a failure is merely a failure, people cannot bear it. If a relationship simply ends, people cannot bear it either. So human beings search for a larger explanation. They turn accident into arrangement. They turn unease into omen. They turn things without answers into fate, not because they have already found the answer, but because having no answer is too hard to endure. Here we need to make an important distinction. A premonition is not foreknowledge. Foreknowledge means, I truly know what will happen in the future. Premonition means, right now I strongly feel that something will happen. These two things are very different, but people often mix them together. Because when a premonition arrives, it feels too real. The heartbeat becomes faster, the body becomes tense. A certain image keeps appearing in the mind. A voice inside keeps saying, this is it. It must be this. It feels as if the future has somehow touched you in advance. But philosophy and psychology remind us, many premonitions are not the future notifying you. They are your current psychological state projecting itself outward. This is the projection of premonition. A person is deeply anxious. He walks down the street and sees a fallen leaf. To someone else, it is only a fallen leaf. But to him, it may suddenly become an ominous sign. He feels something is not right today. Is something bad going to happen? The leaf itself did not tell him anything. What is really speaking is his inner anxiety. But anxiety does not say directly, I am afraid. It appears in another form. It projects itself onto something outside. So the leaf becomes an omen. The weather becomes a hint. An ordinary sentence becomes fate reminding him of something. This is projection. It is not that the outside world suddenly gains a new meaning. It is that the emotion inside the person attaches meaning to the outside world. The person thinks he is reading fate, but many times he is reading his own fear. Fear is not the only thing that projects. Desire projects too, and the projection of desire is often harder to see through, because fear at least makes us uncomfortable, but desire excites us. It makes us feel as if we are finally getting close to an answer. A person wants success, love, a comeback, or the chance to win back what was lost. When desire becomes intense enough, it no longer appears as mere desire. It starts disguising itself as premonition. More precisely, a sense of destiny is very good at dressing desire up as something higher. Desire is usually naked. It exposes greed, fear, resentment, and attachment. But once desire is called fate, it no longer looks like self-interest. It looks like a calling. It no longer looks like impulse. It looks like a mission. For example, someone badly wants a relationship to work. The other person sends one ordinary message and he thinks, is this fate? Are we meant to be together? Someone badly wants to seize an opportunity. He sees a few coincidences and starts to think, is this path waiting for me? Is this a sign from the universe? These feelings are not always completely absurd. Some intuitions in life are worth listening to. The problem is that we are rarely only listening to intuition. Many times we are listening to desire. If I say, I really want this, then it is only desire. But if I say this is fate, then desire is elevated. It seems no longer necessary to examine it. It no longer has to answer for its own greed. This is why people are easily deceived by a sense of destiny, not because it is absurd, but because it makes their desire look more legitimate. So the person no longer feels, I am longing, I am afraid, I am escaping. He feels, fate is calling me. The more troubling part is this. A premonition does not only affect interpretation, it also affects behavior. This is what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. A person strongly feels that today will go badly. He does not simply sit there with that thought. That thought changes his bodily state. He becomes tense. He becomes overly defensive. He becomes unnatural in important situations. He interprets ordinary reactions from others as hostility. In the end, he really makes a mistake. After it happens, he says, see, I had a feeling. My premonition was accurate, but what happened here is a reversal of causality. It is not that fate first decided his failure. It is that the premonition, I will fail, changed his behavior. His behavior then increased the possibility of failure. Finally, the failure happened, but he treats the result as proof that fate had confirmed his premonition. This is dangerous, because once a person cannot see this process, he will believe his sense of destiny more and more. He will not ask, did my anxiety affect me? Did my fear change my performance? Did I push myself toward that result? He will only say, I knew it. This is exactly what I expected. I knew it all along. So many so-called accurate premonitions are not accurate because a person truly saw the future. They are accurate because a person carried that premonition and personally moved himself toward a certain future. This is the most hidden part of a sense of destiny. It looks like prediction, but in reality, it may be participating in the creation of the result. If we place this mechanism back into the gambler, it becomes even clearer. The gambler says, I have a feeling about this round. This sentence looks like a prediction, but many times it has already started changing his behavior. Once he believes, I have a feeling about this round, his betting changes. He bets more decisively. He becomes less willing to stop. He is more likely to read ordinary fluctuations as confirmation. And after losing, he is more likely to treat the next round as compensation. So the question is not only, is this premonition accurate? The deeper question is, what action is this premonition leading him toward? The gambler thinks the premonition comes from the future, but many times it comes from his present desire. It comes from the resentment after losing money, from the urgency to make a comeback, from the excitement that his body has already been trained to crave. All of these mix together and become a strong "I know." Then this "I know" pushes him back to the table. If he wins, he says, "Fate really reminded me just now." If he loses, he may deepen another sense of destiny. "I have not reached the end yet. The round that truly belongs to me has not arrived." This is the self-fulfilling prophecy inside the gambler. He does not keep betting because he has seen fate. He keeps creating a world where fate is not finished yet because he keeps betting. In the previous episode, we said the gambler turns randomness into fate. In this episode, we go one layer deeper. Sometimes, he is not discovering fate. He is using his desire to produce a sense of destiny. The most dangerous thing about a sense of destiny is that it stops a person from looking inward. When someone feels chosen by fate, he is often unable to see his own longing. When someone calls failure destiny, he may already have given up inside. Those ominous feelings, sudden signs, and mysterious arrangements seem to come from the outside world. But many times, they are only inner states returning in another form. The sense of destiny moves the problem outward, as if the answer is hidden in some sign in the world, in numbers, in the weather, in coincidences, in a sentence someone else says. But what really needs to be seen may be inside. Fear, desire, resentment, the need to prove oneself, the fear of losing something. Many times, a person is not crushed by fate. He is crushed by the shadow he has projected outward. He throws something from inside himself into the outside world. Then he becomes frightened by what comes back. This is the loop of the sense of destiny. First, there is a strong premonition inside. Then the premonition is projected onto the world. Something in the world is read as a sign. Then the sign turns back and proves, "See, I was not overthinking. This is fate." After going through this loop, a person is finally trapped by his own inner world, but he thinks it is the world that trapped him. So what does it mean to take back the projection? It is not a set of self-help steps. It is not simply telling yourself, "Do not be superstitious." It is more like a change in position. Originally, a person places meaning outside himself, as if the world is using some sign to command him. Once the projection is taken back, that outside sign loses its absolute authority. A leaf may only be a leaf. A coincidence may only be a coincidence. That strong urge to place a bet may not be a revelation. It may only be a bodily impulse. This does not mean becoming cold-blooded. It does not mean never trusting intuition. It means seeing this. Intuition can appear, but it does not automatically have the right to command me. A premonition can be strong, but strength is not the same as truth. The sense of destiny can press down on me, but pressure is not the same as fate itself. The future is not a book already written, waiting for us to peek into it through premonition. The future is more like a road still being formed. Of course, it is affected by the past, and of course, it is limited by our environment. But it is also shaped, little by little, by how we understand, choose, and act in the present. So true clarity is not the absence of feeling. It is the ability to keep a small distance even when the feeling is strong. This distance allows a person to see. Sometimes, it is not the world speaking. It is the human mind wearing the clothes of fate. Fate may still have its boundaries, but not every premonition deserves to be called fate. The real transformation is not that a person never has premonitions again. It is that, when a premonition appears, he no longer immediately kneels down and calls it destiny.